You're listening to the Comic Crusaders podcast. I am your host, Al Mega, CEO of Comic Crusaders and Undercover Capes. In this show, I'm sitting down with creators from all walks of life to talk about inspiration, process, the lessons they've learned, and a whole lot more. Wepa Comic Crusaders, familia. Welcome to a brand new Comic Crusaders episode. You know who it is? It's your boy Al Mega. And today, OMG, I must tell you guys to hold on to your pixie dust, baby. Because today we're diving into animation madness. That's right. We're going to be talking to a toon titan behind Outhouse Cartoons. He's a creative maestro. Because we're going to be talking whimsical warriors, fairy fisticuffs, and things animated chaos, all right? So as a spotlight for this wild new book called Combat Fairies, coming soon to Kickstarter, baby, all right? So we're going to be sprinkling some magic and bringing that Thunder Comic Crusader style with the big boss himself, this creator, this writer, this publisher, an independent, upcomer, the one, the only Mr. Dylan Moore. Homie, how you doing? Welcome to the Comic Crusaders podcast.
Hi, Al. Thanks for having me on. I love that intro. I love fairy fisticuffs. I wish I thought of that myself.
Oh, it is, bro. It is a fairy fisticuff, man. Combat Fairies, bro. Volume 3 graphic novel is going to be coming soon. To be in the hands of these fellow independent comic book fans and even more. Hopefully, our fellow Crusaders find this as well and become fans of what's popping here. All right, so. Let's make it happen today, folks. I love a good old origin story, Dylan, and our Crusaders like that too. So please let us know where you were originally from, and the most important question ever: what was the first thing ever in fandom that you fell in love with?
Where I'm from, originally Port Moody in British Columbia, Canada, which is kind of near-ish to Vancouver.
I'm not trying to take you guys over either. Don't believe our president, right?
I'm glad to hear it. And the first fandom, that would be a tough one. I'm a big movie guy, so it might have been a movie thing first. And animation. I don't know. Probably Ninja Turtles, actually. Probably Ninja Turtles and Ghostbusters. I'm not sure which one would have been the one.
Okay, but you said movie, so it was the Ghostbusters movie or the animation?
It would have been a bit of both, because the movie came out on the same year that I was born. So the cartoon is what would have caught me, but then my parents would have then put me in front of the movie.
Which version of Ghostbusters? Because remember, at the time there were two. You had the one with like the gorilla. Remember the original Ghostbusters or whatever that was, and then Ghostbusters.
Yeah, and that was always whenever you would see that Ghostbusters was on in the Saturday morning, and you would turn it on, hoping for the Peter Venkman version, and instead got the gorilla. It was always a piss off. But you'd begrudgingly watch it anyway because it was called Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
And you're
did
like,
you enjoy it? No, you say begrudgingly, but let's be honest. Did you enjoy it?
I probably did. Probably more than I'm acknowledging or wanting to admit. If I wanted Slimer, I just want the gorilla.
You know what? I think, honest to God, that also that generation that watched that cartoon, as much as we love the Ghostbusters, the film version and going down into cartoon, we have a soft spot for this gorilla version. As much as we'll talk shit, like we'll watch it and enjoy the shit out of it. Like I want to do a rewatch now that I mention it. Like, you know what? It's probably not that fucking bad either.
There is definitely nostalgia there. I would, if it was on, I would probably sit through an episode or two for sure.
I dig it. All right, bro. We're about to kick some ass, Dylan, because we gotta start talking about what you're doing here, right? That magic potion that you're drinking, that made you, come up and rather dream up what is Combat Fairies. How did you even do this? Was it inspiration, imagination, or straight caffeine overload?
It's probably a little bit of all of that. I think it originally was just doodles. Like I think I saw a drawing of a fairy in the window of a tattoo shop or something like that.
Oh, we're a tattoo shop in Canada.
And so I just thought it'd be fun to draw like my own kind of badass fairy with like straps of like bullets across her chest and giant guns and stuff. just because I thought it would be cool. And then I had fun drawing that, so I was like, let's draw another like kind of fairy soldier character. And then once I had 2 or 3, it started to evolve into like an actual story that I started to get kind of
saying, wait a minute, I got something here. You started cooking.
Yes. And then the caffeine and all that kind of came into play once I actually had to sit down and start making things. That's what.
Gotcha. All right. I mean, let me ask you, because I know you're called, Outhouse Cartoons. I mean, animation, right? Is this what you're aiming for with Combat Fairies? And if so, like, what was it? Or did you want to always do the graphic novel?
For the fairies, the thought was always comics. Okay. I kind of like animation was kind of my initial trajectory, and I'm still I still do animation as well. But comics were just always, as a fan of comics and just loving to draw and tell stories and stuff. So for a while, comics were all I could do, and then in recent years, I kind of came back to that. So Combat Fairies, there is an animated short that I made to promote it.
Oh, dope.
Actually.
Where can you find it? Is it on one of these social medias?
You can find it on my website. It's on the website.
You mean on this website right there?
That website right there, yes. You can see the animated short both in the comic section and in the film section. But the main intent was always to be graphic novels for it.
Oh, okay. Oh, awesome. Yeah. Now, you see, you always were a fan of comics. I always love to learn that side of things as well. Mm-hmm. So when it comes to comics, I always love to know how people from other side of the world, even though you're way up north in Canada, that's not too far, obviously, from where I'm at. But nonetheless, how did you find comics? Was it family? Was it self-discovery, like friends?
I think it was, partially because I was watching so many cartoons that were based on comics, like even Ninja Turtles I had mentioned. And my first comic might have been a Ninja Turtles comic that like came with a video cassette, or not video cassette, but audio cassette that had like the dialogue and stuff with it. I think that might have been my first comic.
What's a cassette?
Yeah. And then I got into like the Tim Burton Batman movie was a huge thing for me. So then I kind of got me into
I saw that in the movie theater. I saw that in the movie theater in Brooklyn, and would you believe that at the end of the movie, somebody started setting off bottle rockets inside the theater?
Holy shit!
Yeah,
wow.
Brooklyn.
I saw it in theaters too. This is my first real movie theater memory was seeing that movie actually.
Oh, really? That's cool. That's a cool first movie. My parents took me to fucking Hell Night with Linda Blair, a horror movie. At fucking 5 years old. Great parents. Thank you, Mom and Dad. Let me tell you, it made me a horror fan for life, though. Thank you.
I was watching horror at 5 as well, but not in the movie theater.
Oh, mommy, they took me. There's no babysitters back in the day. You know what I mean? They came from Puerto Rico. Who the fuck they had? We didn't have family here until like the late 80s, where they could finally throw me to somebody.
Nah.
That's how I got my brothers, apparently.
Okay.
I always tell them that. That's how I got you. I was thrown to Titi's house. They're like, I don't want to know that, but I'm just telling you how it happened, bro. All right. So with that, you got fairies, you got combat, bro. Did Tinkerbell ever call you to complain about copyright infringement, or did they write for a dude? What the fuck, bro? What's going on here?
I never heard from Tinkerbell. Although the Julia Roberts version of Tinkerbell from Hook was a pretty big inspiration as well, because I don't know how well you remember that movie, but like she picks up like full adult Robin Williams and like carries him around and like throws him around the room and stuff. So seeing like a little pixie that was like this big whip around a full grown person that was like 3 times her size, so I was like it'd be cool to do kind of a superhero-esque thing where the character's that small but can take on anybody kind of thing. So Tinkerbell has not come after me for that inspiration yet, but she was definitely an inspiration.
Yeah, I love it, man. That's what I'm talking about. Outhouse Cartoons, baby. Now, tell us the real story, though. I mean, were you sketching on actual Outhouse, or is that just genius branding?
There was no actual Outhouse, and I think it'd be a stretch to call it genius. It was actually the first thing I ever animated was a joke that my dad told me about a bear and a rabbit sitting on a log taking a dump, and the bear picks up the rabbit and wipes his ass with them. And so I animated that just as a thing to kind of experiment with animation at home, and because of what the joke was, I just called it an Outhouse cartoon, and then it kind of stuck, and I just kind of rolled with it since then.
I dig it. Now, let me ask you, but you can animate yourself into combat fairies. Would you be the hero, the villain, or the fairy who just wants to chill?
I think I would be somewhere I'd be like one of the people they encounter and help them out or something. Help them hide out while they need to. Maybe with some training, I'll help them fight as well, but I'm not there yet.
Listen, I'm about to share the actual sign up page in a moment, folks. But I want to ask though, you know what I mean? Because we're talking about this is volume 3 now, right?
Yes.
So, what's the funniest fan reaction that you've had thus far to combat fairies?
There was a comment on YouTube. It might have been the animated short that I was mentioning, or it might have just been a video to promote one of the first volumes. But the fairies are typically in bare feet because they're fairies, and it seemed like the thing to do. And somebody in the comments, I don't remember the exact wording, but it was something like, "I'll read this comment for those sweet, sweet feet." I was like, "Holy shit!" Okay.
You know what? It's a good thing to know you don't have Liefeld foot syndrome. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah. I have thought of that a few times actually. you might struggle with the fairies. Yeah. And then that same person then commented on something that wasn't combat fairies related, but it had a character in it that was wearing boots, and they were like, "Why is she wearing boots?" Like they discovered the barefoot fairies and didn't want anything wearing footwear from me after that.
Yeah, but sometimes in combat, you don't want to step on bones. You could go through your feet. You want to just make sure your feet are safe. Don't you want them feet to remain sexy, fans? Come on. Are you gonna? Is it Dylan? Dr. Feet Moore? Oh my God, what is going on here, bro? The foot artist. Wherepa?
Yeah, apparently it's a whole new subset of fan base.
Fairy feet. Oh my God, you have just created a new FF hashtag here. Fairy feet.
quite possibly, yeah.
Let's make it.
Feet are notoriously difficult to draw, though, too. I think I'm pretty much footed out after these fairy comics. I think I'll need to take a break from anybody not wearing socks for a little while.
Yeah, please let me draw some Nikes and shit and try to get some branding deals. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm talking about? All right, but all right, let's talk about this. Cause here we go, man. There it goes, bro. Now I must ask, just because I know there are fans out there and they may have concerns. How many fairies were harmed during the making of combat fairies? And we're asking just for legal reasons. You know what I
mean? No fairies were harmed in the making of combat fairies. Several cyclopses and goblins and imps and stuff, though they took a beating.
I dig it. And having fun here. I need you to give us a breakdown here. If there was a cage match, right, and it's your toughest fairy from combat fairies versus, let's say, SpongeBob SquarePants, who would win?
I think the fairy would win. No offense to SpongeBob, but I think he'd end up with a lot more holes in him than he already has by the end of that.
I'm having fun over here with you, man. Cause, all this shit sounds so dope, and I mean, you're just taking a tease of the artistry that I was able to see prior. Talk to us. Give us really the rundown. What is combat fairies, man? Like what is the story? Give us that volume 1, 2, and why we need to have volume 3 in our lives to complete our shelf porn.
So the premise of the first volume is that the fairies live in like the other world, like where all the kind of mythological creatures live. Largely taken inspiration from actual mythology from around the world, but usually with some sort of twist put on it.
Cool.
And but they live kind of hidden, so our world doesn't see it. And a World War III breaks out, and that then snowballs into a civil war among the other world with all the fantasy, very mythical creatures and stuff. Because there's a debate or a dispute over whether or not they should kind of come out of hiding and like help the humans not destroy themselves, and that ends up causing another war themselves.
Mm.
And the main fairies themselves, our core 5, they're a tactical team basically for the greater Combat Fairies Corps. It's a much larger team, and they're just one, or a larger organization, I should say, and they're just one team within that. And so they get sent on missions. They're kind of like the Dirty Dozen or the Inglorious Bastards or the A-Team, but they're fairies, only 9 inches tall, and they take on giant monsters and stuff like that. Oh. And then they are tasked with killing a human target, which they've never been asked to do before. And when they kind of track that target down and learn a little bit more about them, they start to question why they were asked to kill her, and then kind of turn on their leader essentially, because they no longer trust what they're being told to do. And then it snowballs from there, and we find out why this person was, why they wanted her dead, and why she shouldn't be dead, and what that means, and all that. That eventually segued into Volume 2, where the world is very different now because of what has happened in Volume 1, and there is kind of new chaos just around the world because everyone's a little bit scared about everything that has gone down, and kind of turning on each other. And then we get to Volume 3 here, where really all hell that broke loose in Volume 2. It's kind of a cleanup mission to try to get everything back to normal, and kind of get the world running again and feeling like a safe place again. And it's got kind of a punk aesthetic. There's lots of the story gets into some dark stuff sometimes, but there's also a lot of quirky, weird randomness and stuff in it because of the natural weirdness of all the magic and everything. And the fairies themselves are pretty snarky and sarcastic, and so the dialogue's pretty funny. And yeah, so it's just what, for me anyway, feels like a lot of imagination just kind of vomited out on the page, with lots of kind of bloody action and snarky comedy as well at the same time.
Gotcha. So talk about the creative team. Is it just you? Do you have a squad? And if it's the squad, talk about the promans and how you met your squad.
It is actually just me on this one.
Look at that. A one-man army, an OMAC, one-man army corps. Where is the Mohawk, bro? Come on now. Holy shit. So why did you take this task on all by yourself like this?
Well, it's kind of, it's a thing that it's an option, I guess, with comics that isn't necessarily as viable with other stuff.
It doesn't have to be collaborative. I get you. Some of the greatest works come from just an individual sometimes, but also some great works come from collaborative efforts. So. Oh
yeah, for sure. And I'm not opposed to that in the future and stuff. But it was the idea kind of snowballed entirely out of my own head, and I love to draw and everything. So I think if I was in a position to do so, I might have got somebody involved for color and things, if nothing else, because like I'm kind of obsessive with the drawing and inking and stuff, and I do enjoy the color, but it's probably the most daunting.
I think you're popping though, man, because just based on the image, let me say that again, folks. I mean, I think you guys would agree that coloring does pop. Look at that.
Thank you.
Diablo, man. And I like that logo right there, Combat Fairies, minus the Volume 3, of course. That's just a fucking tattoo.
Yeah. That was a bit of.
Do you have a tattoo? That should be one of your Johns right there. Like, yo, if we make $5,000, I'll tattoo Combat Fairies on myself.
Honestly, I might consider that.
Hey, yeah, I'm saying, bro. Why not, bro?
I'm not gonna promise it here, but I'll
Bro, listen, man. I'm the idea man here. That shit looks proper for a tattoo, though. So I don't think that you would regret it over life, because you know what? It's dope.
I might take the text away, but maybe just the skull and the wings or something. There could be something.
All right, there you go.
You might be onto something there, Al. You might be onto something.
Hey, well, let's do. Listen, bro, just and you could record that for the tattoo shop, tattoo artists. Hey, bro, do a live video of me, you getting a tattoo of that as one of the things. Like, yo, if we reach this, I'll do this shit live on YouTube.
I might consider that. Honestly, I do not hate that idea.
Hey, bro, I'm telling you, baby, I'm an idea, man. I love it. I love indie, man. It's like I want you guys to just blow shit up, man, because this sounds like such a fun book. I mean, volume 3, bro. Wow. Like, how long you been working on this, time-wise?
This has been a while. The not nonstop work, because there was some pauses in between, but the first volume I started in 2019.
Oh, okay. So like a 6-year journey thus far back.
Yeah. And there was a bit of a gap between volume 1 and volume 2. But once I dove into volume 2, like I basically wrote volume 2 and 3 back to back and did all the design work and stuff like that, so that once I started volume 2, I could jump right from that into volume 3. So there was a little bit of a gap between those first 2 volumes, and of course, got pause for life every once in a while. So it wasn't like 6 years of nonstop solid work, but it was a fairly long journey. And this is the last volume, so it is a complete trilogy now at this point.
Oh, really? All right, so that was your aim for a trilogy. So now that you have the trilogy done, are you going to try to shop it around to maybe do an animated feature or maybe do it yourself?
I'm not myself.
He goes, hell no, Al, shut the fuck up, no more work.
The workload. But I'm not. I think if it blew up to the point where there was I thought there might be some interest in it to go somewhere, I would definitely be open to that.
It will be. Bro, everybody's looking for new IPs, my brother. Everybody is looking for a new IP, original and fun, and not for nothing. I think you fit the criteria right here.
Well, thank you. So we'll see.
And
I thought about a video game as well. I got some notes on a video game.
Oh, that would be dope.
Yeah.
What? Look at my man. Yeah, exactly. But listen, you gotta believe, you gotta manifest, bro. That's what we're talking about here. This is the independent journey, yo. Every lane is available. Let's make it happen. Manifest, baby. It ain't you're not trying, you're doing. All right.
Let's yes, we're doing it. We're doing.
Yes. I think. All right. So now you've been in this for 6 years, and then between 1 and 2 you had the gap. 2 and 3 you went ballistic and went straight. So how the hell did you keep your energy up? What's like your go-to snack? What's your go-to ritual music? How the hell did you keep the energy up, bro?
A few different ways. Sometimes it's music. I also binged a lot of TV shows, like ones that I could either ones I've seen before or ones I could easily follow, just through dialogue and stuff. So I didn't need to give it my 100% attention. And that sometimes would keep me planted there at the drawing table, because I'd get into it enough and I wanted to finish a season or whatever. So I'll just keep going until the season's done, and then I'll take a break. So that was the thing.
So you get lost in the world as you
do. For sure. And go-to snacks. So for a while I was doing a lot of ice caps from in Canada. And fuzzy peaches are a common one. The peach gummy ones. And anything Reese. So I got a lot of. I go for the sugar a lot when I'm.
Oh, bro. Have you ever been to the Reese's Pizza Shop in New York City?
I have not, but I've seen videos, and I would love to check that out sometime.
Bro, that giant Reese's Pizza, I saw it in person being made. I'm like, yo, hold my phone with 911, like ready to dial, because I'm about to have a diabetic attack if I eat one of those things completely. I mean, it looks so delicious though that I'd be that asshole that would just take the risk.
I don't know that would last a day in my presence, honestly. No matter, I'd feel like an asshole before I hit the halfway mark, but I still keep going. I don't think I could.
Bro, Let's do it together, bro, Mr. Mo. We be assholes like, fuck, bro. And then we go. Like, yeah, there's also the M&M shop in Times Square. Let me tell you, wait, they have the little bucket where you could try all different types. Oh my god, bro! You won't walk out. You'll roll out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
I went
saying?
to the M&M one in Vegas once years ago, I think.
But I think you see, folks, you know what I'm saying? This is why I love indie, man. These people, yo, we everyday people creating some dope work that, yo, is about to go live on Kickstarter. So when do you plan this baby right here to go live?
This is scheduled to go live on July 30th.
Oh, July. Oh, whoa, that's a while. All right. So why so long? What are you currently working on it? Are you trying to have a finished product before it goes live? Like, what's the deal?
No, the comic itself is finished. But I'm making a bunch of the backer rewards and things. And making more promotional images and things like that, just so that I can really do a major blitz a little bit as we kind of inch closer to it.
You're not paying this motherfucker out. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, yes. And that was something I learned from the first two. Like the first two Kickstarters for Volume 1 and 2 were successful, but I felt like I didn't pre-game quite long enough. And I recognized. So basically, I gave myself almost no pre-launch time for Volume 1, and then I gave myself a little bit for Volume 2, and then I realized no, I could still do more. So I just kind of rounded up to give myself plenty of time to get ready for it, and plenty of time to advertise it before everything is officially live. So hopefully it pays off.
You hear this, folks? That's not just his experience, but I also think that's great advice. Pre-game, that shit is important. Start talking about this project even way before you launch it. Create excitement, create the talk, create the atmosphere. And I dig that you know, I that's why I asked that, and I wanted to see where your brain was at. And it's exactly at the right place, I think, in order to create a successful product. You got this, bro. Woo! You're a boss, bro. Look at that. And also, why Kickstarter? With so many different platforms that we could choose nowadays for crowdfunding and pushing our product, what was it that particularly attracted you to push this product on Kickstarter?
With Kickstarter, when I did Volume 1, I did research around a few others, and the big thing with Kickstarter was just the amount of comics that I saw being funded on there was like kind of the main attraction there. And I think, and I might be getting this wrong, so maybe don't quote me at home, but I think I saw some stat about comics actually being the most consistently successful projects on Kickstarter. And I'm thinking it's because in most cases, obviously the book itself is being offered, so you're not necessarily just giving money in the hopes that it turns into something. You're actually kind of essentially buying a book. It's almost not that different from pre-buying, right? But
I do want to say, and just throw that into the mix, you know, about most successful. Anytime that's happened, it's because it's always been a big name attached to it. Keanu Reeves' Berserker went nuts. The one that what's his name? Wesley Snipes was attached to went nuts. The Transformers Omnibus, nuts. G.I. Joe Omnibus, nuts. Millions. But then you also have McFarlane. He steps into the game with a figure. He makes millions as well. Millions. I'm not talking about thousands. Millions. No.
Yeah.
The fuck.
Yeah. Well, they're the ones that are getting into the really huge strata. Like they're raising tons and tons of money. Like
do you think
on the indie level?
Do you think them being on those platforms is helpful or detriment to independent creators?
I think it's a bit of a double-edged sword, maybe, because I feel like it maybe helps to legitimize it a little bit in some people's minds, because some might be, because a lot of people like to go for what they know, I feel like, and when it's an indie project that they've never heard anything of, they might be a little dismissive of it, but when they see that other big name creators that they're fans of are also using that platform, it maybe kind of helps in that direction. But the other side of it, of course, is that you're also kind of competing for space a little bit on that platform with some really big names and everything.
Yeah, it kind of sucks, but you know, hopefully again it brings attention to those smaller projects that you know bring an originality. Keyword there, originality to the comic book game. Once again, a new energy, new stories, new fun things that you probably have not even seen before. So that's what I'm thinking about. What my man Dylan is doing here with Combat Fairies is different. Yo, he on the volume. It's the finale. So if we go to Outhouse Comics, for example, can we pick up volume 1 and 2 as well, or is this going to be part of the maybe some packaging within the volume 3 Kickstarter? Can you
both? So you can get it on the website. But I would suggest for anybody that wants to do the whole trilogy to actually probably wait until the Kickstarter goes live, because I will be offering it as a package deal as well. So if you want to get the complete trilogy, you can do that. It'll also be 1 and 2 individually will be available as add-ons also. So if somebody like got volume 1 when that first Kickstarter happened, and then for one reason or another missed volume 2, but they want to get caught up, they could do both of them as well. So there'll be a trilogy offer and there'll be add-on offers as well. So you can do it through the website, but you'll get a slightly better deal on Kickstarter, and then you'll get all of them in one shot, and you won't have to wait when you finish 2 to read 3.
And go right there, folks, right now, and then press that notify me on launch button. Sign up right now, baby. I mean, you guys got money. It's the summer. You guys got money. Y'all save some money to have some fun. This should be part of your fun for the summer, guaranteed. You know what I mean? It's some real talk. So sign up today. Now, I have just 2 final questions for you, bro. I know you're busy. You got to keep creating some more books, because you're probably going to do a lot more than Combat Fairies. You know what I mean? But this is the primary thought right now. So let's make sure we get through this. Now, 2 last questions, but probably 3. I'm going to ask. I got to ask questions. I'm loving the energy here.
I'm here for it, don't worry.
If Combat Fairies had an official soundtrack, what's the one song that would play during the final epic battle?
During the final epic battle, my mind immediately goes to "If You Want Blood" by AC/DC.
Oh damn!
Yeah.
It's like it's gonna be a slaughterous fight. Then
yes.
That's why I asked that. Through the music, you're gonna know the violence that's gonna be intended through it. Yes. Yeah, baby. I dig it.
It gets, like I said, I'm also a horror fan as well. I mean, I wouldn't call it a horror book, but you'll see some horror influence sporadically throughout the whole series.
I mean, but listen, we're talking war, we're talking combat, and that shit is scary. It is horror, especially. Listen, man, I'm a Conan fan. You're talking about a barbarian, but when you start seeing heads being lopped off and body parts coming off, it becomes horrific. You know what I mean? Like, holy shit. You know what I mean? I dig it. So, what's the ultimate goal for Outhouse Cartoons? Is it global fairy domination, or just making people laugh till it hurts and just entertain them till they die?
Well, I mean, I give 2. I mean, like, just like I like just getting the stuff out there and entertaining people, and that is satisfying in its own right. Obviously, if it blew up to a much larger scale, that would also be very satisfying. In a
I'm using the word if. When it blows up,
when the fairies dominate the world, it'll be
exactly.
It'll be a good time as well. But in the meantime, I'm happy to be entertaining whoever wants to read the book.
I dig it. Now you do it. Again, you have 2 volumes out. Are you doing anything on the convention scene? And if so, where can we see you next, bro? Where can we get a signed copy, shake your hand, and experience the Moreverse?
So for anybody in the Vancouver area, I'm going to be at the Rain City Comic Con actually this Saturday, so only in a few days, which is actually also free admission as well. So that's May 24th. And I've got another couple local ones confirmed this year already, or more or less confirmed. I won't be able to throw actual dates in. There'll be one in October and one probably in July, I think the other one is. And then maybe another couple around there. So I'll probably be sticking pretty local this year. And then next year, I'm looking to maybe do, the big one that I always do locally every year is Fan Expo, which is already done for this year, but that'll be next February. So I'll be there hopefully with all 3 volumes at that point. And then I'm debating if I can make it, if all the things line up the way they need to try to venture over to the Calgary Fan Expo
Nice.
as well, which I'm told is actually even bigger than the one here in
I
Vancouver.
gotta get my passport to go over to Canada and visit and make sure I don't get kidnapped. According to certain people, I'll probably get kidnapped and be hit with fentanyl. Who knows?
I think you'll be fine now.
I don't really know that shit. People gotta stop, bro.
Oh, I know you don't.
I just laugh. I make fun of it because listen, boy, we don't laugh about shit like that. Sometimes we're gonna go drive ourselves crazy, and this is why I love the world of comic books, the world of independent comic book creators like you, man, creating fun fucking shit to really just please take us out of the world for a little bit. And so, as a fan, to the creator, let me say thank you, bro. Thank you for being one of those, not trying to fucking smush something down our throats, but rather have some fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah, very much. Yeah.
And dig into your imagination like that. This is fire, bro. So, folks, I'm telling you right now, sign up now. You heard him. It's going to be dropping soon. But get notified on launch. Go to that Kickstarter. More Combat Fairies Volume 3. Número 3, mi gente, all right? Now, if you want to pick up those books early and not wait to the Kickstarter, you want to spend that money and support my man, as you should, baby, make it rain. Go to OuthouseCartoons.com. All the links are in the show notes. I make it easy. But most importantly, please, for all my listeners out there and everybody, support independent comics, independent creators, and follow my big homie on social. You can follow him on Instagram at Outhouse Cartoons, Meta the same, Blue Sky the same, and so with Twitch. My man owns this team all over the place. All right, he smashed it. Outhouse Cartoons on all social media platforms. Period. Now, Dylan, before we go, any last words of advice? Just a statement about the project. What? Give it to me, baby.
About the project specifically, really just I think if you like fantasy stuff, you like action stuff, you like punk stuff, I think you'll have a lot of fun with the book. All 3 volumes are pretty long, so it can kind of look maybe intimidating to see that page count, but they're fairly fast reads, I think, and generally pretty entertaining. So I think so give them a shot, guys. And you said advice, so I'll just say any fellow creators out there, just go for it, take a shot, and you don't know if you don't try. And we want to, and like Al said, we want to see all the indie creators and all their work. And when I go to cons, the thing that I'm most excited about is usually to find a comic I've never heard of before and pick that up and read it.
Isn't that isn't new discovery fun? When you find something you've never seen before. I mean, I see your little gray hairs. You may not be as old as I, but we've been around the game. We've read a lot, and and we know these established universes. And it's so refreshing when you find something that's just like, what the fuck is this? Holy shit! Like at our age, to find something new that excites us, that's fire. That's what I'm saying. I got excited by this Combat Fairies. I'm happy to have met you, man. I'm digging the whole concept, the whole idea. This just sounds perfectly up my alley. And I can't wait to fill up myself with this shelf porn, if you will, of Combat Fairies, baby. Shelf porn is just books that look sexy. This definitely is one of those. I can't wait to add this to my collection. And folks, you better add it too. Again, I'm gonna show it one last time, but it's also in the show notes. Please sign up now. Get notified on launch. It's the Kickstarter. Dylan Moore Combat Fairies Volume Número 3, Volume 3, baby. Let's make it happen. Support independent comics. Dylan, thank you so much for your time. I absolutely appreciate you, my Crusaders. I see y'all lurking out there. I see that you Facebook liking and all you guys not commenting as you should. You see, there's a new feature down below over here. And apparently, like, the comments are going to show up automatically. So if you comment, it's going to have its own comment stream down here now. Hey, these things keep improving over here on this platform that I'm using. So let's see. Maybe I'll keep it after all. With that, hasta la próxima. This is Omega. It's Dylan Moore. Wepa!
Thank you for listening to the Comic Crusaders podcast. If you like the content, please subscribe and turn on notifications. Also, please visit comiccrusaders.shop and our extended podcast family over at undercovercapes.com. And also, make sure to download the Comic Crusaders app on the Google Play Store today.